got one more. Okay. All right. Ready? All ready? All right. Good evening. Welcome to the regular public meeting of the Planning Commission, Monday, February 13th. It's now 6 o'clock. Anyone wishing to address the Commission during the communications from the public or on any item on the agenda should fill out a speaker slip, which most of you did, and give that slip to the Commission Secretary prior to the item being heard. Please write the number down of the agenda item or the subject of your presentation. Please observe a limit of 3 minutes when you're giving your presentation. When called upon, step to the podium and give your name and for the record and whom you represent, and be advised that you cannot give your 3 minutes to anybody else. With that, we'll call to order.
Okay, Commissioner Brittingham.
Here.
Commissioner Shepidwell.
Here.
Commissioner Keith.
Here.
Vice Chair Cundiff.
Here.
And Chair Barron.
Here. For staff, we have Kelly Lucia online. We have Celine Sevilla, our Associate Planner, and Yesa Benson, our Commission Secretary. And with that, could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Okay, we have communications from the public. Okay. Yeah, okay, gotcha. All right. Malula Lani Beal?
I'm going to pass. This is my first time, so I'm going to pass right now.
Okay. How about a Pat Tate?
I'm not one that really likes to get up and speak, but do we just stand here or how do we?
Up at the podium, please.
I came to this meeting tonight to voice my concern over the warehouses that are being planned and the truck stop. I moved to Calimesa about 6 years ago, and truthfully, I didn't really expect to ever come here. I didn't think it was my cup of tea. But over the 6 years I've been here, I've grown to love it, and I really enjoy the people and I enjoy the community. I'm extremely concerned about the plans for warehouses. We have warehouses already, and their trucks aren't even operating from that vicinity yet. And I'm sure when you come down from Cherry Valley, you can see them in the background. I mean, it's overwhelming. And they're not even using our freeways yet. And my thought is, wow, how is this going to impact travel? It's going to be horrendous. I have no doubt. I know there's been expensive research that's being done. And to tell you the truth, I don't even know why. Because all you need to do is get on that freeway in the morning and your answer's right there. It's already horrendous. It's hard to get to Redlands. It impacts our lives tremendously. I think environmentally, we're talking about a lot of pollution that we don't need to be subjected to, nor do our children need to be subjected to it. I know money plays a factor in all this, and I'm open to listening to the other side to see what the gain is for us. But truthfully speaking, from my own heart, I can't see it. And so if there's some kind of research that shows a positive benefit, I would like to know what it is. And basically, that's what I have to say this evening.
Thank you. How about Devin Zate? Zate? Devlo?
It's David Zates.
Oh, David Zates. Okay, thank you.
David. Oh, okay. It looked like an O. I'm sorry.
Good evening, commissioners and city staff. My name is David Zates. I live in the Summer Winds community of Calimesa. I am here to talk about 4 warehouses that are either approved or under review along the 10 freeway, from Cherry Valley Boulevard to Sandalwood Drive. These 4 warehouses total approximately 9.7 million square feet and are expected to generate 6,600 truck trips daily. Let me break this down for you. At Cherry Valley and Calimesa Boulevard, a 1.8 million square foot warehouse has been constructed. It is estimated to generate 1,200 truck trips per day. In the Summer Winds community, the city has approved general plan amendments and the like to allow for the construction of an approximately 2.25 million square foot warehouse. According to the consultant report that was submitted to the Planning Commission and to the city, that report states the warehouse is expected to generate 1,800 truck trips per day. At Calimesa Boulevard and Singleton Road, the city is processing an application for a general plan amendment to allow for the construction of approximately 1.3 million square foot warehouse. That mega warehouse is expected to generate 800 truck trips per day. In the Calimesa community, the city is processing a preliminary application from a developer for 4 million square feet of last-minute logistics center, AKA warehouse, or mega warehouse, if you will. This is expected to generate 2,800 daily truck trips per day. In total, these projects will generate approximately 6,600 diesel truck trips per day. This is just too much for a small area where the 10 freeway goes from 4 lanes to 3 lanes, creates a bottleneck. But we're putting these number of warehouses, the city is considering adding more warehouses into this area where the freeway bottlenecks. This is just too much for a small area. As such, the City Council and the Planning Commission should enact, actually I think the technical way is that the Planning Commission should adopt a resolution going to City Council, recommending the City Council to enact a 2-year moratorium on all new warehouse construction to allow the dust to settle on the approved warehouses so that we may know the real effects that these warehouses have on our city and our people in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. John Gates?
Good evening, Chairman Barron and fellow planning commissioners. I live in Sharondale, right above the Stearns property. My question this evening is there's an environmental impact report forthcoming. Will you receive that initially before the City Council, or does that, does this come from you to the City Council for vote, or how is that handled?
I can't answer that question because we don't, it's not a project for us yet.
You're saying that there's no project pending
Yes,
and that?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Chairman, this is Planning Director Kelly Lucia. I'm on the line just to briefly respond to the public comment. The EIR, when and if the EIR comes before the commission for consideration, it will come as a recommended action first, and then that action, whether it's recommended for approval or denial, will be forwarded to the City Council for consideration, who is the ultimate approving and certifying body for all EIRs in the city.
Kelly, if I'm understanding, hi, by the way. Okay, so it would go to the Planning Commission first?
Correct. It would go before the Planning Commission for recommended action.
Okay, any idea of the timing? Is it still fourth quarter?
I'm sorry,
Is it still fourth quarter you're looking at? Or they're looking at?
2023?
Right. for the final results of the the report?
So I wouldn't want to speculate on when it may be complete. There will be a notice of availability.
Okay.
Is circulated when it's available. Please check in with planning staff, check the city website at any time. We do have all of those notices available to you, but we are several months, if not a year or so, away from that occurring.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Willie Yao now? There's-
I'm sorry, I speak Chinese.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. 首先，我说这里是一个年轻的城市，这里的人会越来越多。我希望城市为这里的居民创造一个好的环境和条件。其次呢，在切尔歪里路段已经有2个很大的仓库，在10号南也正在建当中那个大的 warehouse。And then about 10号北这个路段就不能再建仓库，会有很多的车出出入入，对我们的居民非常不方便生活。我希望在这里建一座 Costco and 红提堡之类的店，方便我们的居民，我们不用再跑很远的地方。And so 建一个 Big Mall 也是一个不错的选择。最后，我希望这座美丽的城市越来越好，繁荣昌盛。And then 希望市政府深思熟虑，考虑为你们的子孙后代造福。Thank you.
Thank you.
If you allow me, please allow me to read a translation of her statement. Firstly, this is a young city, and there are more and more people coming here. The city government should work for the welfare of all, instead of doing things that are not good for its citizens. Secondly, 2 large warehouses have been built on Cherry Valley Boulevard, and a large area of land is under construction on the south side of Highway 10 in Calimesa for a warehouse space. The land in the northerly section of 10 should not be used to build further warehouses, as they will be too many large trucks coming in and out. It will affect the surrounding residents. As for this area, everything that is built will generate taxes for the city. Why not build it for the benefit of everyone? Such as affordable stores like Costco and Home Depot. Currently, residents have to go far away to shop. Another good choice would be a shopping mall. In the end, I hope that this beautiful city will prosper and become better and better, and that the city government will consider carefully benefiting future generations.
Thank you. And finally, Danae?
Not a protester, I'm a conservative, independent citizen with research, A Region in Crisis by Susan Phillips from Pitzer College, that will help us assess the effects of warehousing so we can work together for Calimesa residents, not for Berkshire, Terra Verde, and Shop-Off LLCs. The developers need to manufacture land. They make land using entitlement and teams to navigate the politics, local community, and the government to stay ahead of us. Berkshire's own words. Developers aren't working with you or for us. They are staying ahead of you to make money at our expense. Even Mayor Davis says the Berkshires are all about money, as are Shop-Off, Martin, and Ohanian. A land entitlement is special approval and completely discretionary given by you, the City Council. By you and the City Council. Some say a landowner has a right to develop, and he has a right to develop by the existing plan. Mr. Shop-Off just profited from his county entitlements, and he says warehouses are green. True, and it is the activities that warehouses bring to a community that make them toxic source points. Some say if you see the mountains, the air is clean. False. Particulate pollutants from toxic source points can't be seen and damage the health of everybody. The 2045 promise of mandated fleet electrification is false. Companies will be able to get exemptions. Who will protect us from opportunistic Orange and San Diego County developers? Do you know who I'm talking about? and the entitlement requests that remove our amenities. Our city approved the equestrian trail system that is shared by everyone. Trails were removed and disamenities approved to benefit portfolios of institutional groups and families of high net worth, not even living here. Who protects our interests? Because you're supposed to. Stop giving entitlements to the Birchers portfolio of high net worth families, to Terra Verde's LLC to achieve the best value for them. Stop giving entitlement to Shop-Off's Focus to have the most control and profit returns. We have high worth and value too. The realtors in our commission must know what warehouses and truck stops do to a community's health, wealth, and morale. Stop entitling the entitled with more entitlements to benefit their investors over our value, our health, and community wealth. Present and future residents deserve sensitive planning together to retain our naturally great community. Yesterday, today, and for all of our tomorrows. Commissioners, stick to our city plans, mission, vision, and values. Be Calimesa strong.
Thank you. Malulani, do you want your...
Hi, I'm Malulani Beal, and I am a resident in Summerwind Trails. I live near the D.R. Horton, near the new Stater Brothers. Moved here in 2019. I love my community. It's great. I am very concerned with the proposed planning or thinking of more warehouses. I see we have a school that's right by a freeway, which is already a little scary for the kids that are out playing as far as inhaling all the fumes from cars all day, and I just am concerned for the health of our kids. I have a child that's out riding bikes and doing his thing outside, and I really am concerned about the increase in trucks and diesel pollution. It's just really not the dream that we had. It's moving here. We have beautiful hills, we have beautiful families and communities, and I really like to do outdoor parks and things where we can be together. And I just feel like the warehouses are going to bring more traffic. And I will tell you, I work in Loma Linda. I have to leave my house at 6:30 in the morning just to get to work by 8, and that's because it's a car parade just getting to the freeway already. I live right by Stater Brothers. If I leave at 6:45 or 7 in the morning, it can take me a good 25, 30 minutes to go 2 miles. And so, you know, I'm tolerating that, but I really don't want to tolerate giving up my health or my son's. And I don't think it's fair to ask the residents to put up with more traffic and big rigs, and the freeway's a mess. I think all of us that exit Cherry Valley Boulevard coming home from work, the freeway off-ramp or off-ramp to just get to our houses, we're stuck in the middle of the right lane. I have semis coming up behind my 4Runner, and I'm just praying somebody doesn't hit me because we're so backed up just getting off the freeway. So I just pray and hope that our decision makers will consider that for our future and our happiness living here. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All the comments there. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve
Move
the minutes.
The minutes, I'm sorry.
From the
Approve the
previous.
minutes. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, got a first and a second. All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay. A continued public hearing item. Going to open the public hearing. We'll have staff presentation.
Good evening, Chairman and members of the Commission. So John, Keith, if you wanted to make a statement before we proceed.
I really don't care to. I'll let Brandon speak for me.
Yes, and Commissioner, it's my understanding you've reviewed the record and you've assessed any potential issues with regards to your relationship to this proposal, and you have an open mind, you're able to consider things freely?
Correct.
And so he'll be,
Negative comments.
yeah, and he'll be joining us for the rest of this matter.
Thank you.
Okay, so with that, today's public hearing is for conditional use permit 2201 and development plan review 2201, which is for a telecommunications facility to be located at 1154 Desert Lawn Drive. So a little background. The applicant is requesting approval for a conditional use permit and development plan review to operate and construct a new unmanned telecommunications facility. The highest antenna is 73 feet from ground level, and it would be co-locating on a existing Edison transmission tower. They will also be within a 180 square foot enclosed equipment cabinet. The site is largely vacant with just the 2 Edison towers on there currently. So here's the project vicinity. As you can see here, it's located along Desert Lawn Drive and Brookside Avenue. Here we have the surrounding land uses. So it is located on a commercial neighborhood zone, and there is existing towers within the vicinity. So here we have the site plan. The nearest residential area is 500 feet away. They will be co-locating within an existing Edison easement, and the applicant is required to pave the access road as part of a condition of approval. So as you can see there, the access road for fire access. Here we have the elevations. So as mentioned, the highest antenna is 73 feet. The existing Edison tower is 169 feet. 4 are 73 feet and 2 antennas are 65 feet. Calimesa Municipal Code says 75 feet is our max. So the facility is also going to be enclosed within a 800-foot CMU wall. And with that, the recommended action today is that the Planning Commission adopt Resolution 2023-01 approving conditional use permit and development plan review 2201, subject to the conditions of approval, as well as find the project categorically exempt with CEQA guidelines.
Chair, if I may, staff has just slightly modified the resolution that was included in the agenda packet simply to clarify the applicant is actually T-Mobile, and we had identified SmartLink, which is in fact their agent. So that's the only real change to the documentation. In addition, one condition of approval now says applicant instead of T-Mobile. No substantive effect. In addition, on the notice of exemption in the packet, it identifies SmartLink. When this is submitted, if this is approved, that will read T-Mobile.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, and if you guys have any questions or answers, or any questions, I can answer them. And we also have Barbara from the applicant team. Barbara, can you take the podium, please? If you guys have any questions for her, she can facilitate those as well.
Good evening. My name is Barbara Saito, and I represent T-Mobile tonight. And I want to thank Selena for a lot of hard work that she did to bring this forward to you. She was pretty straightforward on everything that we plan to do here, or we're asking permission to do, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you might have about the project.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
I have none.
You see? None? No? We're good.
Like it.
Straight standards.
Okay, thank you very much.
So with that, I do have one public comment. Danae.
So I have a question for the planning commissioners about what is a CMU wall?
Concrete wall.
CMU? That's what it stands for?
Concrete masonry.
Okay. And then is there going to be any radiation or negative effects from this tower to the homes nearby? Do you know of any?
There's no
Have you
homes
asked?
nearby.
There's a home 500 feet away.
No.
That's what it said. The nearest home is
Oh,
500
and
feet away.
Chair, might I weigh in? So this is an opportunity for the public to comment, right? And so we
Right,
definitely,
so I would like to know.
you're right, to comment, and you have the opportunity to ask staff clarifying questions of brief duration. Staff is also available after these noticed meetings. And just to be clear, this isn't an effort to stifle conversations. It's to maintain consistency with the state laws governing opening meetings, the
Okay.
Brown Act.
So-
And so on future items, there will be an opportunity for this extended back and forth, but we can't have extended questions and back and forth with the commissioners at this meeting on items of this sort.
Okay, so my comment would include that this is a problem because staff does not vote. The commissioners vote. So I would like to hear from my voting representation, not from staff. That's a problem for me.
Thank you.
Can I address? I just want to make a note on the noise. I don't know, I think she said radiation, but it's the nearest residential area is 500 feet away. It's not anticipated that it's going to make any noise or any light is going to come from this site. It's, again, enclosed with an 8-foot concrete masonry wall, so it's not anticipated.
Can I ask a question, Celine?
Yeah.
So the voltage that was already being put out, do you have the increase in voltage that will
So
be
we'll
added?
have to look into that. We'll need to gather information from Edison in order to determine what that voltage is.
Can we do an extension on it if we needed to? I mean, is it going to be like that much voltage increase it?
So why don't we have the applicant, because
Yeah.
my
That'd be
understanding
great.
is those voltage lines are way too powered, they'd fry everything. That's a transmission line, those aren't
Yeah,
going
those
to
are
tap
the
in
main
off of.
transmission lines above.
That's why they're building the concrete
The ice
cover,
block, right?
because that's going to be a generator or whatever else, that's going to be for the power and all the mechanisms, but let's make
Correct.
sure.
Okay, I'm not an electrical engineer, and so I can't speak to the Edison Tower. However, what you're addressing here is apples and oranges. What Edison has coming from their stuff, I'm not familiar with at all, and I can't address it, but we are not contributing to that frequency of the spectrum. What T-Mobile is doing is putting their antennas, they're 75 feet up in the air. They do meet the FCC guidelines for emissions, and they're considered categorically exempt because they are taller than 30 meters above the ground, 30 meters, 10 meters above the ground, which is 33 feet. So there's not considered to be any type of hazard from the antennas to anybody who even walks up to the tower. I wouldn't walk up and try to climb the tower. That has its own hazards, but it has nothing to do with the antennas.
So it's like a GPS antenna, so it's going to go up the...
Well, the antennas are located about 75 feet up in the air. Okay, what's on the ground is just the radio equipment. The radio equipment is similar to when we used to have radios and we had amplifiers in our house and turntables and such like that. They have that same amount of energy going into them and coming out of them. The antennas have different energies, but again, they're way up there. They're located way up upon on the tower. So by the time they were to do their broadcast, they would be insignificant to anybody on the ground. And do you have any questions regarding that? Okay.
I don't know enough, no.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And with that, I'll close the public hearing. All right, and go to commission discussion. Do you have anything you want to add to that, or?
I really have nothing.
No?
I do.
Go ahead.
So during the last meeting that we had a couple citizens state they had some concerns about the 5G and what the effects of the radiation could be from that. So I took it upon myself to research some of that. Some of the studies were inconclusive. Some they are negative. Some they are positive. It just depends on how many you want to read, how many reports you want to go through. But I did talk with some people that deal with radiation, x-rays, this kind of thing, and pretty much everything gives off radiation. Your computer, your television, your microwave, everything gives off some form of radiation. So overall, to say that we're, kind of afraid of this thing because it's going to give off some radiation, we got to remember a lot of things around us do that already. I do like the fact that it's high up in the air, so for what I looked at, I think, I thought this was a good thing.
Sure. And just to add to that, and as we make our decision today, a lot of the wireless land use regulations are set by federal law.
Yeah.
And so federal law, and this may have been introduced previously, the city is exempted from considering FCC, the impacts of these emissions as long as they meet specified federal standards, right? So I just want to be clear, as the deliberations continue, there's a limited ability for the city to consider that emission issue while they make their choice.
Oh, absolutely, but I also thought probably would be important for us to make sure that we
Absolutely.
do some due diligence of sorts.
And that's helpful for the discussion, I think, for the public. I just want to make sure that info is also conveyed.
Sure, appreciate it. That's all I have.
Great, thank you. Anything else? All good? Okay. Then I'll make the motion for PC Resolution 2023-01, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Calimesa approving conditional use permit 2201 and development plan review 2201, authorizing the installation of a new 73-foot telecommunications facility and related equipment located on the southwestern corner of Desert Lawn Drive and Brookside Avenue intersection in the commercial neighborhood zone, designation APN 400-010-007. Can I get a second?
Chair, that's with the staff's
with the
recommended
correction from-
changes.
yes.
Perfect.
With the correction from T-Mobile.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Okay, that's that one. Commission comments and reports. Mike?
No,
Nothing?
good day. Everybody's good. Good day.
Eric?
Thanks, staff, for the hard work putting this stuff together, and that's it.
Cool. John?
Staff, thank Brandon for being here. Bail us out if he needs to.
Yep, keep us straight.
Always a good job, Brandon. Thank you, Celine, too.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Selena. Excellent job. All right, with that, I've got nothing else. Do we have anything from Kelly, or
Lily?
she's still here?
I'm still here. I have no further comments this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. With that, we'll adjourn the meeting to March 13th, 2023 at 6 o'clock. Thank you.